In terms of Hope Powell, did you get any sense even in advance of that game she'd been unsettled?
For me, I really want to focus on right here, right now, and I want to focus on the game coming up. Hope has left an incredible legacy here at this club and in women and girls football in general. She was terrific with me as an individual, and I've learnt so much from her. For now, we really need to focus on the future, focus on the game that's coming up in the next 3 days.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely right, and maybe we could repeat that just for the sound there, but she has been a figurehead in British football, I'd say. We haven't got many black coaches as well, and this club's journey in recent years is a lot down to her.
Absolutely, an incredible role model. Like you said, I think she's broken numerous barriers. I hope we can continue to really drive that diversity and equality aspect that she's led on, and I'm sure she'll be continue to do the same herself. And yeah, I mean, the amount of work that she's done here at Brighton, where we first started to where it is now, is just credit to her, really.
In a way, she's kind of taken responsibility by going after that defeat. How are the players reacting to this? Are you seeing the right things from them in the aftermath of that? And do you expect to get a reaction against West Ham?
We know that Sunday's performance was miles away from where we need to be. The players recognise that, and it's time to stand up and be counted for this weekend. There's been some real intent in training. We're clear on what we're going after, and we're going after a real professional performance, and it's important we stick to that.
You were here, I think, before Hope came. Do you have any thoughts about taking the job on a permanent basis?
I think, as I just mentioned, my focus is really on the next 3 days, getting the team in the best place for a good performance and a professional performance at the weekend.
Hope mentioned that the turnover of the squad in the statement she released, coming into this season. Do you feel you're as strong now in terms of the players you have at your disposal as you were last year?
There's been changes. We have some, great individuals within our squad, and they're even better when they play as a unit and together and collectively. If we focus on that element and the key aspects that we're looking for to get a professional performance, then, the team will be in a better place for sure. There's changes all the time, every window, and we know we have good individuals within the team. It's about now coming together, really putting all our energy and focus into the game against West Ham.
Just finally, for me, on a brighter note, Katie Robinson's call-ups, very well deserved. I'm sure. Maybe you want to touch on the football journey she's been on in her career. Where she started out, having to move to Bristol and so on, dealing with a bad injury as well. It must be very satisfying to get that call-up for England.
Absolutely. I mean, real credit to her. Real credit to all of the staff that have worked with her as well, but mainly her. She's been very diligent, very committed to her preparation, her application, and that needs to continue. She's got lots of potential. She needs to keep her head down, keep focused, which I know she will, and really enjoy the opportunity that she has next week.
Hi, Em, it's Tim here.
Hi, Tim.
Lovely to see you again. Yeah, I just want to first touch on your relationship with Hove and what you've learnt from her personally over the years. You've got a career ahead of you. What skills, strengths and qualities you've taken from that long time with her for you?
A significant amount, Tim. If I'm really honest, 5 years is a long time, and it was 5 years across different leagues, different players, different situations. I think first and foremost, her as an individual, she's a great person, a great leader, really clear on her values and sticks by them, and I think that's important. She also had great relationships with the players and the staff, and just being in and around her day to day, soaking up that knowledge, the way she works is important really, but there's various aspects, as you can imagine.
And also she drove infrastructure and ideas and development and systems and modern science and everything else, didn't she, at the club?
Yeah, she's built the infrastructure to be a professional model. I mean, I think I remember speaking to you before, Tim, and I said, I think when Hope first came in, there was only 3 members of core staff working with the first team, and now we have numerous members of backroom staff, an incredible facility that Paul Barber and Tony Bloom have invested in, and it's just gone from there. But obviously, the way that she has led the process in the structure and the players, you know, there's no denying the legacy that she's built.
It has been hard, hasn't it, with the players you lost in the summer, and I imagine they're feeling not to blame today, but you know that it hasn't been a great start to the season. How do you and the staff pick them up, and what role do they play in that now? Because it can't just be down to you and your backroom staff now. It has to be, I guess, all of them trying to find the performances that you've had in previous seasons.
We have to focus on what we can certainly control, and that's the next 3 days. That has to be our key focus. You know, to go into the West Ham game with real energy, intent, and a real belief in what we're trying to do. I think that's where we have to begin.
Do you have confidence in the strength of the squad and the abilities that are there? You made signings in the summer that they're bedding in. Are you confident that you can get performances this weekend and over the next few weeks?
I think, as mentioned, it's all about this weekend at the moment. It really is. So I really want to keep bringing us back to that. The focus on the next 3 days, and the players know that if they put their focus into the game and stick to the principles that we want to deliver, then there's no reason why we can't perform well and in a professional manner.
How about West Ham? You've had some really tough games in terms of the top 3-4 sides. Not suggesting West Ham are much easier, but is it a slightly better opportunity now with some of the games coming up, beginning with West Ham? Sides in the bottom half of the table now.
Every game in this competition is a real challenge. I think we've seen that across the board this season already, and we're only 5-6 games in every club. Every game is a challenge, so we're approaching this game no different to any other. You know, we have to do the work properly, with intent, and be really focused on making sure that we cover every corner we can to ensure that we get the performance that we want.
And how are the players feeling with a couple of days to go ahead of the game? Do you feel they can dig deep? Do you feel there's a real desire to turn things around?
I think they're focused. I think they're ready to put on display that the fans, the club can all be proud of, and themselves.
Finally for me, Katie Robinson, as mentioned, is now in the senior squad. How much of a role model is she, even at her young tender age, becoming to the rest of the squad, to the academy players that you know so well as well? How significant has that been with her joining the senior squad as a message, to all echelons of the women's side of the club going forward?
Yeah, it's amazing news for the whole club, the whole pathway. It just demonstrates I guess if you put the work in, if you really, I mean, she's had some real difficulties with her long-term injury of late, and it just demonstrates that if you get your head down, you work hard, you take on the information, you try and apply it, you try and develop yourself as much as you can, keep your feet on the ground, then there's no reason why not. And the more players that we can help develop to achieve what Katie has already will be great. And she's still got a long way to go. But it's really good to have a role model within the club and a pathway that is starting to achieve those things and hopefully continues to.